So we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, and we'll start roll call. We'll start over on the right here. Joe Newchester.
William Knapp.
John Crowder.
Bruce Hansen.
Rich Gossman.
Larry McPhail.
Dean Berkeley?
Henry Hollander.
Okay, anybody sign up for public comment? Okay. 2 or 3 items on the agenda tonight, and we take a little bit out of order because I want us to have lots of time to have discussion on the interim fire chief and the fire chief recruitment process. So first we're going to have a couple letters that we're going to ask the board to approve sending, and these kind of originated with Commissioner Anselm and I added a letter to follow up. So I'll let Bruce explain how it came about.
So I was made aware of a couple of letters that were sent to the city of Blaine City Council. They had them on their agenda, and they originated from one of our commissioners, Mr. Berkeley, and were signed representing himself as a District 21 commissioner. And that bothered me because one, he was censured from making those types of contacts back in January 17, January 17. And two, it was my understanding that myself and Chief Hollander were the representatives to the council for anything that was going to come from this board. So since the information that was offered to them that was signed on behalf of a commissioner, I wanted to clarify to them with a letter that that was not based on a motion of the board or approval of the board. And so I wrote a letter to the council explaining the board's position, and basically stating that Mr. Berkeley has been censured. He does not represent the district as a commissioner in that capacity unless the board asks him to. And that we apologize for any confusion that may have caused, but if they have any future questions or concerns, it should be directed to myself on behalf of the board or Chief Hollander.
Okay, and about a day later, there was an article in the Linden Tribune talking about Chief Burnett resigning, and there was a comment from me, and there was a comment from the chief, and then there was a comment in the Tribune that Commissioner Berkeley had sent an email and had said that the chief was resigning because of dissension on the board, which is not at all what the chief said.
Is that what the email said?
And not at all what I had said. So again, the content of it is not as important as the fact that once again he sent communication to a newspaper or another agency indicating
It's
that
5 newspapers, let's make sure it's right though.
indicating that he's speaking on behalf of the board or as a board commissioner, which under censure he's not allowed to. So those are the 2 letters, and so they are before us today, and they're for your information, and I'll be asking for a motion to approve the sending of these letters on behalf of the board to the Linden Tribune and to the mayor and council of the city of Blaine.
A motion to approve.
Is there a
Second.
Second. Okay. Any discussion or any questions?
Yeah, make sure we get the details right on against it. The fact is it went to 5 people, not just one, who is your friend. And the facts are, it was stated in the email. So there's nothing wrong with it. It's fact, it's public knowledge. I work for the people, not you.
It's my understanding that you have the right as a private citizen to contact those people.
I
And
believe I
you
was
have-
elected to this position to look after the public's interest, period.
And based on your censure by the board,
Means nothing to me.
you do not have the right to contact them as a commissioner.
Yes, we do.
And therefore,
Read the RCWs.
I speak in favor of the motion.
Any other comments? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Okay, my motion is passed 4-1. So the letters will be sent forthwith. And we'll move on to the business that we,
I guess the
Like to-
truth really hurts, doesn't it?
and we're going to talk about the interim chief position and the permanent fire chief position. So I wanted to have this meeting so that we can kind of share amongst ourselves and staff and the employees that are present, what our intentions are and how we want to go about this. And my understanding in communication from Chief Burnett is that, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's not a big rush on the chief position, but there is a fairly quick push to get an interim chief. We'd like to have an interim chief in place by the end of the year. Would that be a correct reflection?
Yeah, I think that, that reflects my thoughts. I think it'd be important to identify an interim chief, towards the end of the year, or at least a little while before, maybe a little bit of time before I actually leave, so that I can pass on important information to that individual. But it's completely up to the commissioners, the process and how they want to go about selecting a new fire chief. And I know that you've had at least one agency come in already that specializes in that and has given you a presentation. So certainly it would be up to the commissioners how you want to proceed forward with that.
They'll be doing a presentation.
Yeah.
So we had one presentation, we got another presentation on the 15th. And they're primarily, am I correct that they're primarily focused on the chief position as opposed to interim, or would we both?
I talked to the SCI primarily about the chief's position.
Okay. Because I don't think there might be much time for them to do a search for an interim chief. So we're kind of left to our own devices, to look around for the interim chief. And I know some people have talked to different people. I have talked to one who said he would help us out in a bind and he would give us aid, and that would be Tom Fields, who was a previous chief. He offered his services to help hold us over until we could find him, but he's not at all interested in the chief position. So that's one positive one I've talked to. Anybody else talk to anybody or have any response to?
I think there's enough experience with Henry and Winchester to handle the position until we find one. And I think Henry is more than capable and has a tenure in this department that can do it. I don't think we need to outsearch anybody.
Talked to a couple individuals.
Thought about it.
And passed.
If I might address you, commissioners, about that question. We obviously have the talent in-house to be able to do that interim position with the chief officers that we have. My only concern would be that there's a lot of work that needs to be done, obviously, out there in both operations and in the facilities, food maintenance division. And I would just say that if you do decide to allow one of our folks here to step up into that position, that we somehow backfill that position temporarily, and so work doesn't get dropped. There's so much going on that I would hate to see us run short for a time period, put a lot more stress on our chief staff than needed. But we certainly do have the talent in-house to be able to do that interim job. In fact, Chief Winchester took over from me last year for 3 months and did a fine job. So more than qualified folks in-house as well. But if you're thinking about going to the outside, there's a couple different options there. You know, either someone for interim chief or someone to fill in either the ops chief position or perhaps the facilities maintenance chief, division chief position, as well. So there's just a couple thoughts for you.
I agree, we're short-staffed, and so if we do choose to go internal, we do need to backfill, because we're running on the shoestring as it is. So, since there weren't like 50 people knocking at the door to step in and do this, I think we're gonna either need to form a committee, and I would suggest if we do that we include commissioner, employee group, labor, maybe an administrative person, the chief himself. And just knock this thing out before the end of the year. We've got three names here that were mentioned. You know, I'd kind of like to see if there's what the lay of the land is for backfilling or filling in from within the ranks as well. And that would be based on the chief's input as to how we would do that. And then that buys us some time for a quality fire chief recruitment process. There's no way that's going to happen in the next 3 months. We haven't even chosen who we're going to have do that. Sounds like in our next meeting we'll have another presentation, and I would suggest that we be prepared within that time frame or within another special meeting after that to choose a vendor for the chief recruitment process, if that's the direction we decide to go, and get them started, you know, hopefully before the end of the year, but then you've got, you know, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. Pretty difficult to go out and start searching that time of year. So my expectation would be to get going right after the first of the year, and I think it would be reasonable to think it's going to take 6 months to find a quality candidate. So we're basically looking for backfill or fill in or some leadership for up to 6 months.
I have one comment. I was listening to the news last week, and some of you may have seen it. The city of Bremerton got a new mayor. And as soon as he moved into position, the first thing he did was fire the chief. And they had a captain or somebody on the force made some comments and said he was really a good chief, and we don't know what's going on here, but basically it left you with the thought that maybe there was a conflict of interest. There was basically no reason for firing him. Bremerton's a pretty good sized city, and that's a pretty good sized fire department. Here we have a fire chief that probably has a lot of experience and may have been fired for no cause at all. And so, and then you got to talk about interim. It would be interesting maybe to have somebody like that as an interim chief. Gives you a chance to watch him work for about 3 months before we get a chief. So that's another option. And if we decided to pursue that, I think it would be smart to call down there or go visit, but talk to 2 or 3 of the captains or maybe even the personnel. And what was this chief like? You know, how did you like working for him? How good was he at it? And we'd really have a chance to see what this guy's all about. So that's just another option.
And that's where the committee would come into play, I think, if we had a committee appointed. I'm trying to think, this would be like an ad hoc committee, and it'd be formed for this specific purpose and then disbanded when it was finished. I'd want it to be small enough to function quickly and well, but representative enough of the department. So I guess offhand, I'm thinking a commissioner or 2, the chief, someone from labor. That's 2, 3, 4 right there. Is there anybody else that should be involved that I'm missing?
I say the ideal is for 3 to 5 if you want a committee that can move. It cannot be more than 5.
No.
Commissioner Bosman, if I might say, our commission guidelines actually describes exactly the process for forming a committee. And I don't unfortunately have it in front of me right now, but,
Well, shoot, I do.
it actually tells who can form the committee, what the committees, their powers are, what they can do, so that might be a good guideline for you to use when you decide to do that.
Let's take a look at that, because I obviously.
Don't have it memorized?
No.
Page 15. Chair creates themselves rules.
No more than 2 commissioners.
Right, doesn't need a quorum.
It really doesn't tell us how many, does it?
No. No, it's, I mean, it's up to you to.
It basically says I gotta pick them, or put it together. Is that correct?
Well, I think we can have that discussion here and
Mhm.
help decide. I'm available, I'm willing to be on that committee if no one else is. And then I'd actually like to hear if there's any comments from the group here, if that's okay. Even though I'll officially decide that, but sometimes the best ideas come from the people you least expect, so. I know Labor's here, I'm assuming that they would like to be part of that committee. And then as far as the rest of the employee group, whether we include another, captain or chief or secretary. Any thoughts, ideas?
I would think admin should be included in it as well.
Right, right, so
That
let's.
would be a rounded benefit of the entire department.
So we're thinking admin,
Mhm.
the chief. Couple commissioners, that's 4.
Right.
That's 5. Joe?
Just a thought, if I'm not speaking out of turn, appreciate the inclusion in labor. My thought was, it'd be a good mix, to have a labor representative, and maybe a senior officer, line officer, captain, or lieutenant. They just have a different view. Both the labor reps are firefighters. I think, these middle managers have a different view of the operation.
Right.
And so that does grow the committee a little larger, but that might be a better cross-section for goals that each person might have or thoughts.
So if we go with that, we would have 2 labor, a labor representative and a captain, or
Company officer.
or an officer.
Company officer, yeah.
So that'd be 2. If we had 2 commissioners, that'd be 4. 1 from admin would be 5. And if we include the chief, that would be 6. What are your thoughts, chief, on this?
Is this for the interim?
Yeah.
Or
Just for the interim.
I would say speed is of the essence.
Would you prefer to be on the committee or be more of a sounding board for the committee's ideas?
I think the latter,
That's what I was wondering.
or, yeah, the latter.
Maybe an expert witness?
I'd be happy
That's.
to help as much as I can.
Just, that's that burden.
that would be 5 then.
Yeah.
John, what are your thoughts?
I think that sounds like a pretty good mix.
All right.
I would kind of like to see 5, and, Chuck, were you talking about Dan as as one of the, or so? Danny?
Either Danny or myself, yeah.
Oh, either one. Do you have a preference?
No, I'd have to talk to Danny. He has a lot more limited time than I do, so it may be me, but, I'll, you know, we'll,
Okay.
yeah.
That's all my thoughts, just 5. I would like to see 5.
And if there's a specific opposition to one of us, we'll make sure to honor that as well. I just
Okay.
putting it out there, yeah, yeah, we're not trying to belabor the process
There's
by
no
any means.
opposition.
Well-
You're a use.
Well, you know, that does bring up a point that's probably worth discussion, because I would assume that the chair and the vice chair would be the members from the commission on that committee, but if you object to either one of us, that would go, we'd certainly do that, submit to that too, with the labor day, so.
I can only speak for myself without talking to the group. I don't think there's any problem with any of you being on that
Okay.
board. I think with a group of 5, I think it's gonna be really hard for it to be weighed one way or another, you know, like labor heavy or commission heavy. I think we're all looking for the right thing.
The only reason I even bring it up is I want this to be a fast-moving committee.
Yeah.
I don't want us to be sidetracked by
Yeah,
distractions.
Again, speaking for myself, I don't see any problem with that. If anybody else has any thoughts on that, seems reasonable.
Jenny, you're willing to be on this?
Sure.
Administrative, report administrative. So it would be Jenny, Bruce, and I, and 2 from employees group. And then the chief will have one or t'other.
Got the other two.
Do you have any thoughts on a company officer position? How would we like to choose that? Or do we want to send out a notice and see what kind of interest there is? Is that something that could be accomplished in the next few days, week?
And I can help facilitate that via personal email as well to speed that up. Just, I don't think everybody gets their work email, but we can help get that facilitated as well. So,
Yeah, I'd like to get the committee formed as soon as we can, so we can get going on it. So that there's a repository for names to come in and the committee can get moving. We okay with that?
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Okay. If either one of us can't make a meeting, we may call one of you 2 to step in for us and keep you up to speed on what's going on.
Wouldn't that be 1 of 3?
Hmm?
Wouldn't that be 1 of 3?
Pretty well.
Or is it one of you 2? There's 5 of us here. I count 3.
There's other issues.
What other issues?
With censure that come into play with this,
Oh.
so.
Oh, I see. Didn't know you were the boss.
You can vote me out if you want.
Oh, I don't think I have to do that. I'm sorry.
So we'll try to form that committee as soon as we can, get that going. And then, the next thing would be, the presentation at the meeting at our, 15th. And that's gonna be like a webcam meeting, right?
Yeah, Henry's involved in setting that up.
He'll be out of town, and we'll set up the webcam on the TV. It'll be interactive, but nobody will be here that I understand from the company. It'll be a webcam presentation.
Okay. So after that, then we should get serious about choosing one of those 2 to get going on the chief search. Okay. Anything else before the board? Any other discussion on this? I know it's kind of a short meeting, but I wanted to get this up and rolling. And this is about the only way to do that with the special meeting, so.
So as far as addressing the fire chief recruitment process, we'll have a presentation at our November 15th meeting in 2 weeks. And then the hope is that we can either discuss after that or shortly after that. Choosing or deciding if we want to choose someone, I think we should choose someone. With the goal of them starting the process the first of the year.
Because there's actually two questions there. Do we want to hire somebody to do it? And I think we all agree we do, but we should formalize that. And then which one of the two?
Is anything gonna be said at the 15th meeting about the progress of the committee or not?
Should be, we can put it on the agenda for the 15th for an update from the committee.
We should at least have the committee formed. I'd like to have the committee formed by the 15th, so if you could help facilitate getting a
This would be,
volunteer.
probably be called the Fire Chief Recruitment Committee, for lack of a shorter term. I mean, interim fire chief, excuse me.
On 14th, I can't do the all county commissioner meetings.
Oh, okay.
Either,
Can you go to the 14th to the commissioners meeting, John?
And station 4, down 4.
Mm-hmm.
What's the date, 14th?
Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday night.
Yes, I think so. I had one other meeting, but I think it's on a different, I'll check, but I think I'll do that.
Okay. Let me know if it doesn't work.
Yeah, okay.
And otherwise we'll figure out,
Yeah.
they're covering that.
7 o'clock, yeah, okay.
Okay, anything I'm missing here? We ready to go on this?
So in the interest of the webcam, is there a time we can pick for, can we be flexible enough so we can set a time to schedule that meeting? We don't have to make that connection with,
I would say what works best for them.
like 1:30, give us time to get rolling, and maybe we can stop what we're doing and so that we can.
I think it'd be easy for us to stop and move to that.
That'll make it easier for us to say 1:30 we're gonna start.
Okay, that'll work.
Thank you.
We do have a public hearing scheduled for that meeting, so maybe after the public hearing.
That's
Because of the budget.
Because of the budget, that's right.
Is that going to include the 1%?
Yeah, it's the public hearing and then the 1% resolution, and it's right after the consent agenda.
So we could actually,
I think,
we'll probably be there by 1:30.
before the consent agenda, right before the consent agenda.
Okay, that seems better, then we'll have that taken care of before we get there. And there's also the commissioner pay increase on that agenda too, right?
Yeah, there's discussion,
Discussion
possible
on it.
action on it.
And then the Brennick, also we can follow up on that. So that's on the agenda, I think.
And then the oath of office for the new recruit.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll have a pretty full plate for that meeting.
Well, when is graduation?
Tomorrow.
At what time?
It starts at 10 o'clock in the morning, yeah. We're gonna meet at station 12 at 7.
To form this committee, I don't think we need a motion to actually do this.
No, I don't think so.
You form it.
I think we just form it.
Yep.
That sound right, Seth? Okay. Good. All right, anything else before the board? If not, there's a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Seconded, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we are adjourned. Thank you very much. Thanks for spending part of your time.
You guys don't stay around, so everyone form.